Will governments borrow money? Yeah. And they borrow lots of money. Especially if somebody's about to attack. If your country is going to war, don't you want to borrow money so you can buy guns and defend yourself? I mean, and if you're going to borrow money now, aren't you willing to borrow that money at like a really high interest rate? The goldsmith says, yeah, you know, I can loan you the money, but it's going to be 25 or 30%. The bad guys are coming. You know, I need the guns today. I can't work. If you don't give me the money, you know, I'm not going to have anything to defend. So yeah, I'll borrow the money. I'll give you your 30%. Ha ha! I've got the perfect solution. Except, you know, you're battling this guy over here. So I've loaned you money. I'll go over here. You want to borrow money? I mean, you're fighting against this lady over here. You know, you don't want her to win. I can loan you money too. So now I'm playing both ends against the middle. I'm loaning you money at 30%. I'm loaning you money at 35% because I'm not giving you very many chances. You know, and I've got the two of you fighting. You're both borrowing lots of money. I'm making money hand over fist. This is good. What's the only bad news that I could ever get? The two of you shook hands and decided not to be at war anymore. Oh my gosh, you can't have that. You know, if you stop the war, you're going to stop borrowing money. This sound like wild, crazy, you know? That's exactly what's going on. When Napoleon was exiled, they put him off in Elba, hoping he'll never come back. What do you think the bankers did? Hey, Napoleon, you want to come back and kick some butt? Why do you think we had the Louisiana Purchase? Because Napoleon needed money. He said, yeah, I'll give you that entire Louisiana Purchase. You can have all of France's land. I need money because I got to come back and kick some butt. He was also borrowing money from the bankers. So we got here, we are the United States. We are printing our own money. Oh my gosh, we can't have any of that. We don't have any control. If you're making your own money, how can we loan you money? So all through the history of the United States, they've been trying to set up a central bank. Alexander Hamilton was the guy who was trying to get it started. And he did. They called it the first Bank of the United States. And then the contract ran out. And so they brought it back again, and they called it the first Bank of the United States. And then it went away, and they brought it back a third time. This time they called it the second Bank of the United States. So we've had, you know, a central bank several times. Well, Old Hickory, what's his name? Andrew Jackson said, you know, you guys are a den of vipers, and by the strength of God, I'll rout you out. And he threw out all the central bankers, and he killed the central bank for about 75 years. He did a good job of it. Not a perfect job, but back in 1913, the central bank came back. What do we call it? Federal Reserve. So they print money out of thin air. You've heard the joke about the woman goes into the bank and says, I can't be overdrawn. I still have checks left. You know, that may be cute, but that's what the Federal Reserve is doing. Prior to 1913, how did Congress get money? They have to beg. They have to come to us and say, we were going to have this big scientific, we need $1 million to study the sex life of the mosquito. What did we say? I don't think so. Like, oh darn. You know, we can't do our pet little project. So then they invent the Federal Reserve Bank. Congress is authorized to coin money and regulate the value thereof. They are not authorized to give that power to somebody else. If I'm a police officer, can I give you my gun and say, would you direct traffic for me while I go to lunch? Can I give you that authority? No, because I can't give you the responsibility that goes with it. We give Congress the responsibility to coin money. We did not give them the authority to give it to somebody else. But they did. Federal Reserve Act is completely, totally, 100% unconstitutional. I don't care how much it depends on what your definition of is, the President does. It's unconstitutional. So now we've got the Federal Reserve Bank printing money out of thin air. What does Congress do? They borrow money from the Federal Reserve. Did they ask us? No. They just borrow the money. They do their, study on the sex life of the mosquito, and then they turn around to us and go, oh gosh, we've got a national debt. You got to pay taxes. We got to pay our national debt. Wait a minute. They were supposed to ask us before. Now they've invented a system where they can get the money without asking. It is criminal. It is treason. Absolutely treason. Anybody here still think that the government is out to for your best interest? I'm from the government. I'm here to help. Oh yeah? Stand still. Now, one of my favorite quotes is from Ludwig von Mises. Ludwig von Mises says on page 24, the government is the only institution that can take a valuable commodity like paper and make it absolutely worthless by printing on it. Think about it. If you'd given me scrap paper, I could use it for something. But now that you turned it into money, it has no value. Now, money is defined by Black's Law Dictionary. In usual and ordinary acceptation, it means coins and paper currency used as a circulating medium of exchange and does not embrace notes or IOUs, evidence of debt or other personal or real estate. A note is an instrument containing an express and absolute promise of signer to pay a specified person or order. It's a promise to pay. Now, when we started this class, you gave me silver, I gave you a book. That is quid pro quo, Latin for something for something. We do an exchange. So once I've given you something, you've given me something. Once we've done this trade, the transaction is over with. I'm happy, you're happy, leave me alone. Now, if you say, gosh, I'd really like to have that apple, and I say, well, okay, it's $1. You say, well, I don't have $1, I've got an IOU. If I give you the apple and you give me the IOU, have we finished the transaction? No. Now, somebody's got a banana, and I want to buy the banana. And they say, well, it's $1. They say, well, instead of $1, I've got this IOU from so-and-so. Would you take my IOU? You go, yeah, okay, I'll take that. And I give the IOU and I take the banana. Have we finished the transaction? No. Somebody still owes this guy $1. Somebody is still stuck. That's what a note is. At the top of the dollar, it says Federal Reserve Note. These are official IOUs that are absolutely, totally worthless. Now, they are not the same as this. This is a silver certificate. At the top, it says silver certificate. And at the bottom, it says $1 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. So you used to be able to take one of these into the bank, and they would give you silver. And I'm not talking about the bus tokens that we use. I mean, if you listen to these things drop on the floor, they sound hollow. Doesn't sound anything like silver. So, basically, this is real money because it can be converted into gold or silver. This is a Federal Reserve note, and it happens to be worth whatever Alan Greenspan says it's worth. It is fiat paper